Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly update. Spring has sprung, so March is out the way and April is here, and it's a great time for pond season as the flowers are coming up in the garden. Maybe you have a pond, maybe you've been considering a pond. If you want to do a pond, we can help you here at Fishy Business. Maybe you need to fill your pond with koi, or any of these things to help with green water like a UV, or anything that's kind of like that. Whether it's food, whether it's products, Pond Perfect or Pond Prime to help with the incoming algae and sludge and stuff that you experience with a pond, or you just want some really cool fish or filters, we got them. Now let's get on to the update. So a lot of you are challenged with space wherever you live, and this is a really great tank if you want to go big in a small space. We don't always have it, but it is the 150. It is 48 inches long, so only 4 feet long, and it's 2 feet deep and I think 30 or 31 inches tall. It's a great tank for a lot of different reasons. It allows plenty of space for fish to turn around. It is a great reef tank. It makes for very impactful viewing, and it's something you should check out since it's a tank we don't always have.
Hey y'all, it's Diana with your saltwater portion of the weekly updates. I got in a shipment of ROY clownfish this last week, so I have a lot of designers. I have a lot of orange, blacks. I got Clarkies, gold striped maroons, and I believe a couple of tomatoes and some pink skunks. So I have a lot of different clownfish in stock right now. So let's see what else I got. I got in some decent sized Harlequin shrimp in last week on one of my many orders. Harlequin shrimp eats starfish. So they're very beneficial if you have an Astorina starfish infestation, as Astorina are a slightly annoying starfish and they can overtake a tank and cause problems. So this is really beneficial to have. Again, they eat starfish, so they will eat any type of starfish they can find. So if you have starfish in your tank, then they would go after your more decorative starfish as well. But they're also super cute. I got in a lot of fire shrimp in last weekend. Fire shrimp are more of a decorative shrimp as they eat a little bit of algae, but they don't clean nearly as much like your cleaner shrimp do. But they're absolutely stunning with that varying from bright to a nice deep red. And the more you have in your tank, the more they are out. As you can see, we probably have about 7 in here. And you can see most of them. They're super cool and super pretty. I also have a lot of cleaner shrimp in stock. Cleaner shrimp clean external parasites off of the outside of fish. So they are very, very, very beneficial to have in your aquarium as they will help keep your fish healthy. These are a little bit more of a friendly, and they'll be out more. So I guess you say personable. Would be another word. So they're not going to be hiding as much as your fires would, but they have beautiful red and white and yellow colors and add a lot of benefits to your aquarium for what they do.
A standing canopy I talked about recently but didn't have a tank on. You can see this bookshelf has been done with a 120. That's a 4-foot tank that's 24 inches deep, and it is very impactful as well. The bookshelves actually can detach or they can be put against the standing canopy, but it makes for a pretty cool wall unit that you can set home, not put together, and have together. It's a very, very cool way of accentuating your tank and making it look like part of the home.
Hey, it's Kevin. I got a lot of cool stuff to show you. In fact, we're going to showcase and spotlight on catfish this week. But before we get into all that, one thing I've noticed by testing clients' water, often their pH is bottomed out, like going down as low as 5 or so in some cases. When the pH goes that low, they lose their entire cycle of their tank. So their nitrate reverts back into the form of ammonia and they have a fish kill. So it is nothing to play with, and it's something that can snowball on you. So it's very critical that you test your pH. pH is the backbone of it all. If your pH is below 6, you're in danger of some of the nitrifying bacteria dying off, and as a result, your pH tanking on you as well as your ammonia level rising in an established tank. KH is more critical for your plants. In a freshwater tank, you're trying to maintain a KH preferably of ultimately 3 to 6. Any product that raises your KH will also raise your pH, so be cautious when doing so. If you're not necessarily targeting your KH and you just want to raise pH, the regulator will target just the pH. The buffer will actually target both. Personally, I kind of like getting your KH on up even if you're not doing plants because it keeps your pH from teetering so much on you. But critical to test both, especially if you're trying to get your KH to a certain level but don't want your pH to get over 7.5 like you're trying to do in most planted tanks. It's something you do best if you microdose. Now let's show you some really cool catfish.
These are one of my personal favorite fish as a hobbyist. I've always loved the glass catfish. These are Asian glass catfish. They're easier to do than the African glassfish, but they also are more transparent than the African glassfish. They like to be in colonies of 6 or more to do their best, and they do best if they're on a sandy bottom. They are omnivorous, and they do best if they're in heavily flooded tanks, and tanks that have a lot of shade in them, because as you can see, they like to take refuge under leaves and under driftwood when given the chance. Really cool fish, easy to do, usually will take to a flake food or a pellet. They also love mini bloodworms.
Here are some really cute, adorable little Asian stone cats. Stone cats, full size, usually no more than an inch in most situations. They're nocturnal feeders. They like to be on sandy substrate. They don't do well on coarse substrate because they will literally smack themselves into and squish themselves.
And they like to hide.
They like to hide a lot. They like to get under things. They are nocturnal, remember? Yes. But they're so cute. Really good for a nanofish tank. As you see, most catfish do like to hide. Most catfish are nocturnal. This is an ambush predator of a catfish. These are the giant bumblebee catfish. Giant bumblebee catfish come from South America. They get up to about 1 foot long. They will eat whatever fits in their mouth, so be careful choosing tank mates. Now on the flip side of that, we also have the Asian bumblebee catfish. Up here, the Asian bumblebee catfish stays a lot smaller. It's
There he
getting
is.
photobombed by the severums. And there he is back there. They only get about 6 inches max size, and they stay significantly smaller than the South American ones do. They also will eat small fish, so be careful what you put them in with. These are SYNODONTIS EUPTERUS catfish. These are just babies. They will top up to about 12 inches. They do best in with African cichlids as they come from the mouths of rivers going into the African rift lakes, into Lake Malawi as well as Victoria. Here is a fun fact though. In the wild, this fish will trick the cichlids into mouth brooding their fry. They will deposit their fertilized eggs into the nest while the cichlids are asleep, tricking the adult cichlids into mouth brooding the catfish, which eat the baby cichlids.
I had them do it in my home tank once.
It's savage.
It was pretty cool.
Really savage and dark-sided side of catfish here.
right, so that concludes the weekly update. One other thing I'd like to interject is that Easter is coming and we have an Easter egg tree. Kat, when have we decided we were going to do that drawing?
Saturday, the day before Easter.
Saturday, the day before Easter, we're going to have the drawing. So come in on that Saturday. I'm sure there will be no chaos whatsoever. And open the egg to find out what kind of discount you're going to get on that Saturday. Now, having said that, I'm off till next week. Have a great weekend and come see us.